Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday live feed. Whether you are joining us live or you're catching us as a replay, I appreciate that you're here. And today, I'm excited to go over the top 3 questions that we get from students, the teenagers in our program, from the schools that we work with, as well as the schools that are coming on board, and then from parents as well. So we will jump into that. There aren't really any updates as far as the club goes. We are just thrilled that schools are finally starting to get back. We've got some test days coming up to get new members into the club, schools that have been trying and rescheduling. So thank you to everybody for hanging in there with us. We are excited to get going for 2021. So for today, what I thought we would do is go ahead and answer the top questions that people have. And I want to start really with the questions that the members have, since they're at the heart of all of this. So the main questions that we get are, number one, what is the testing process like? Especially if you are a teenager who hasn't even done a urine drug screen at your doctor's office. Some teens have not. If you don't play a sport, maybe you haven't. There's a lot of students who have not experienced a urine test of any kind, let alone a drug test. So rest assured, it is a very easy process. We follow the Department of Transportation guidelines as closely as possible. The Department of Transportation is the entity that's kind of in charge of setting best practices regarding drug testing. So we follow those standards, taking into account that we are testing in schools. So we make a few tweaks based on the school environment to make things a little bit more private. We do not observe the test. It will be just you in the restroom before the test starts. The collector will observe the restroom to make sure that everything is as it should be. You will go in the restroom by yourself. I have right here, let's show and tell. This is our drug test cup. This cup is like the Cadillac of cups. We've been through many different types. We've tried saliva. It was, it bombed terribly. We tried some other test cups. In some of our areas, there is a different one. In the Northern Kentucky area, there's a slightly different, it has a screw top. But for the other about 50 schools that we work with, it's this one with the hinge lid. We do this because there's no chance of it leaking in the mail. Sometimes that happens. So essentially all you do as a teenager is you take this into the restroom with you. It is shaped such that it is very easy to hold on to. You put your sample in here up to, you want to go above this circle, so you go up to this line, and then you just set it down, finish your business, come out. You can leave your sample in the restroom. You do not even have to leave the restroom with your sample in your hand. You just leave it in the restroom, go out and get the collector that's outside of the bathroom and say, hey, I'm finished. And the two of you will go into there together and finish some paperwork. It's that easy. Your collector then will snap the lid down tight. She or he will send it to the lab if it needs to go to the lab, and you are off to the goodie bag station. So the whole process, that's the test itself. The whole process on drug test day is typically this. Your school calls you down to the testing area. You fill out some contact information in our system on our website. Then you go to the testing area where you do the process that I just described. It is very confidential, very private, and very simple. You cannot mess it up. Then from there you go to the goodie, oh, I forgot, you get your picture taken before the test for your photo ID. Then you do your test, you go to the goodie bag station, you get your goodie bag, and you go back to class and you eat your goodies in front of all your peers. So hopefully that's the way it goes. Most of our schools allow that to happen. There's still a couple that don't allow it, but if your school allows you to eat in class, that's what happens. So that's the test day process. Hopefully you find it very simple, very private. We've been doing this for over 15 years, so we know how to make this as comfortable as possible. The next question is, who gets the results then? So this is also a question that we get from schools and parents, so I kind of loaded the question here. But it's important to know that we keep the drug test results in-house. Then we have a conversation with parents directly. There is one school in Northern Kentucky that they have a policy written where they do get the drug test results because they have a counselor on staff who used to do drug counseling. And so the information goes to that specific counselor, not the administration, especially if it's a first time. Other than that, throughout the rest of the program, it's just between us and you as teens or you as parents. Schools, sorry if you want the results. I don't know why you would want the results, but if you would want the results, we will not give them to you. We have had schools ask, and we do have to turn them down. And we encourage them to talk to parents directly if they have any questions. So the third question that we get from teens are, what are the actual rewards? What is the reward associated with being in the program? Of course, my first answer is going to be the biggest reward is that you are creating a drug-free future for yourself. And I don't mean that in a cheesy kind of way. The reason why I can say that with confidence is because there's a lot of research that shows if you can put off any type of first use, we hope you never use, but if you can put off any type of first use past the age of 18, then you are less likely to ever face addiction. So you really are setting yourself up for a drug-free future if you will just make the steps or take the steps that you need to take to help yourself deal with drug-related situations. Other rewards are here from our home office. If you pay attention to our communications that come out through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we have contests ongoing. Every month we're giving something away, and that's new this year because it's been hard for schools to do in-school rewards. So we started doing home office rewards, and I don't see this going away anytime soon. So those are in my 2021 budget. Things like, I know we've given away a couple pairs of Apple AirPods, Bluetooth speaker, LED lights. We are right now brainstorming about, I'm going to turn on my chat here so I can pay attention if you guys have any questions or anything as we're going through this, just send a chat and I should be able to see the comment. So if you have any thoughts about a monthly giveaway that we could do, we are looking for other ideas. We have talked about things like passes to Kings Island, because the area that we serve is usually within a couple hours of Kings Island. We have talked about maybe on Nike.com, my husband recently designed his own pair of shoes. So we thought that might be cool for a teen to have a gift card to get on Nike and create their own personally generated gym shoes. So any ideas that you guys have, just let us know because we're looking for monthly rewards. Another place that you get rewards is in your school. So hopefully your schools have managed to do some rewards even if you're at distance. You can still do things like homework passes. You can do things, I know there are some schools that are still requiring their students on Zoom to be in uniform, so you can do get out of uniform. If you do have anything going on at school where the students can come in and get some kind of perk or privilege, maybe they get that for free. Especially with the new year coming up, we do have schools that allow students in drug-free clubs to be the first ones that get to buy their parking passes, so they get the better spots. So parking pass rewards. All of these are ideas that have been created by student officers. Members themselves have come up with these ideas. And that's really schools, if you're trying to think of how to do some rewards, talk to the students in your club and ask them what they want. Give them the free rein to come up with ideas, and we'll go from there. And then the last place that you can find rewards are typically within your community. So when a school starts their chapter of drug-free clubs, they can go out into their community and ask businesses to offer a reward to students. So how you know what those rewards are as a member is to go on our website, and you would go to who we are, go to chapters, let's say you are in Ohio, and let's say your school is Adena, because that's the easiest. Okay, so you'll see here, this is the contact person. If you have a business that you go to that you would like a question to be asked there, hey, can you get a reward for this place? But these are all places that people who go to Adena High School who are in Drug-Free Clubs of America, these are all places that they can go to get rewards. Adena and the Ross County area in general has an exceptional number of rewards in their community. They have a fantastic program. So hopefully your school as well has these to offer. Also, when you get your Drug-Free Clubs ID card, there is a QR code that you can scan, and it will take you to the page where you choose your state and then you go and choose your school. So those are ways that you can find the rewards available for you. Okay, so moving on, we go to the questions that the schools might have. So the schools usually want to know, number one, if I don't have the program yet, how do I get started? So Dave Huggins is our coordinator for new schools coming on board. He is our program development specialist. And the reason why he holds that role is because he and some other people from his community who were with their Rotary Club at the time, they got Drug-Free Clubs of America established in all of their local schools. So they have the experience, and Dave specifically was one of the ones who headed it up, along with Chris Scott and a number of other people that helped them out, Sandy Murray and all kinds of other people that got it off the ground. So Dave worked as a volunteer getting these 8 schools off the ground, and he stayed as a volunteer for about 2 years with us. And so he was a great hire to help new schools come on board. So please reach out to Dave Huggins, and all you have to do is, if you go onto our website, you can go to the Contact Us page right here. And on the Contact Us page, you can simply select that you need to receive more information about Drug-Free Clubs. That will generate an email that will go directly to Dave, and he will reply to you then from there. So then if you are somebody who might be the coordinator for this club, you probably want to know how much of your time this is going to take. So let me talk about drug test day and about the program year as a whole. Drug test days themselves, it takes probably about a total of, I'm going to say an hour. It really depends on the size of your membership. But in total, it probably takes about an hour to prepare for drug test day, to make sure that your IT has whitelisted all of the IP addresses that they need to do a test run through our website to make sure that it's not going to hit any of your firewalls strange, and then to get all of your applications in alphabetical order so they're easy to hand to the kids when they come down for drug test day. So probably about an hour or so of prep before test day. On test day, it is up to you if you want to be present or if you want to have volunteers present. You will be the authority on the subject because as a club coordinator, we have an academy that you can go through. It is 2 days of training. You will get to know everything you need to know about drug test day. You will do a dry run through a whole test day. So you will know what you're doing. So it's up to you. If you want to recruit some volunteers to help with that day and train them, and then if you're a teacher, you can go to class, or if you work in the office, whatever it is. Or you can be present for the day. So however you want to handle it. After that, then there are some random test days throughout the year. We randomly retest 25% of our membership base. So you will have a certain number of tests that you will do. Pardon me for 1 second here. I gotta fix my camera here. So I think that probably, give me 1 second. Okay. So I think that probably the best way to think about your time commitment is one basically full day with the initial test day, and then maybe a couple hours for randoms if you want to be there, but it's optional. Other than that, you meet with your student officers, and that's probably about once a month for about an hour or so. And what you do is you plan for the upcoming month. What kind of rewards are we going to do? Do we have any events coming up with the school that we can use that to put our Drug-Free Clubs of America students on a pedestal? Maybe they get certain seating or whatever it is. And so really the commitment can be minimal, but there are some coordinators that just go all in and they just max it out. So it can be what you make of it. But I will tell you, whatever you put into it, you are going to get back. So the biggest thing to understand is that we have full-time staff that is here to support you all year, no matter what phase of the program that you are in. So if you have any questions, Heather McGowan and Dave Huggins are fantastic. They will be there for you no matter what time, no matter what day. They will help you out. So please know that you are going to have support. And then the last thing that we hear from schools specifically is, what is the science behind what we do? How do we know that this strategy should work? So admittedly, the program first started as a coincidence, really not a coincidence necessarily, but without relying on science. We had some firefighters who were devastated by what they saw every single day with substance abuse. The scenes that they were showing up to were horrific, especially when it was a young person that they were losing to substance abuse. So they just felt like they had to do something about it, and they came up with this concept of voluntary drug testing, positive reinforcement, support for parents, and privacy for the drug test results. What we found out over time is that there's actually a large amount of research to support this. If you're an educator, you are probably very familiar with the theory of change. The theory of change is a theory in behavioral science that is one of the most well-substantiated and well-researched theories. And our program, that theory has 4 components to it that are necessary to reach a desired behavior. Our program meets every one of those components to reach the desired behavior of staying drug-free. So that's the first bit of science that we rely on. And all of these 3 things that I'm going to mention, I can give you more in-depth information about if you want it. So then the second thing is the research that says that if you can get parents to talk to students about their expectations with substances, they are half as likely to ever use. That is a well-known fact in drug prevention. So we rely on that to be the reason why we work constantly throughout the year to get parent and child to have conversations. And then the third thing is that in prevention, the golden standard is to get one effort that the school, the community, and the home all work together in one theme. And that is exactly what Drug-Free Clubs of America does. That is what you will accomplish as a school when you implement this program. You've got the community on board with rewards and events when the pandemic is hopefully taken care of and we can do more events. You've got the school hosting the program, doing positive reinforcement, giving privileges, telling the students you're proud of them. And then the home, we've got engaged parents who are given the tools they need to have comfortable conversations with their students about with their teens, about drugs and alcohol and tobacco. And then also have it in a comfortable way that isn't accusing them. It's just more of a curiosity. So those are the 3 tenets that we rely on. The theory of change, 50% less chance of addiction if you can get parent and child to have conversations about substances, and then the gold standard of getting home, community, and school to work together in one mission. So lastly, we go to the 3 questions that are commonly asked by parents. So parents, you want to know about the cost, of course. What do I get for my money? And I will say hands down, the biggest thing that you get for your money is peace of mind. I have an 18-year-old and a 12-year-old myself. And I know how scary it can be or concerning it can be when your teen is out of your sights on a Friday, Saturday night. They're going maybe to somebody's house that you have heard things about that person. Maybe there's a gap in your understanding of where they were for the night, and you can't harp on every single minute. I guess you can, but I don't. But you just want to know that your teenager has a plan for dealing with the inevitable situation that's going to come up where they're offered a substance. So you need to ask yourself, what is my plan right now for this moment? Because it's going to come. Your student is going to be offered something, and you have to know that they are prepared for that. It is so nice for them to be able to say, I can't because I get tested. It's an easy excuse, and it doesn't alienate them from their peers. So that is the biggest thing that you get for your money, is that peace of mind and the plan. But as far as tangibles go, we already talked about the rewards. We talked about how we do 125% drug testing. So everybody tests to get into the program, plus 25% more. You get ongoing communications. We have hired a former teacher to do all of our content that goes out to parents and to schools and to teens. So this is an educator who's writing monthly messages to you as a parent so that you can handle this topic in a way that's very comfortable. It is not a comfortable subject, and we want to make it so that you are accustomed to having that conversation. And then we also create ideal moments for you to have these chats. So for example, on drug test day, when the students sit down and enter their information into our database, that will send you an email saying they're being tested right now. Talk to them tonight about this experience. So it's not, hey, talk to your kids about drugs. It's right now is the ideal moment. Talk to them. And it's because they're taking the test. So just ask them how it was. What was it like? Things like that. So education, ideal moments to have the talks, rewards for your students, the testing itself, and then the last thing I'll mention that you get as a parent is resources. And this goes along with the second question, which is what happens if there's a positive test? I mentioned before, the results are just between you and us in most cases, but we do have somebody in place that you can call. You can ask questions to. And this is a collaboration we have with St. Elizabeth Healthcare in Northern Kentucky. They donate the time of one of their people to just have these conversations with you if you have questions. There's no file opened. This is not a referral. It's not a counseling session. It's just an educated person who knows what they're talking about, who can guide you on what your next steps might be. So when you are not really sure what to do next, it's a resource. And then after you feel like your student is drug-free and can test drug-free, then we go ahead and put them on the list to be tested again. The last question that we get a lot is, what do I do if I think my teen might be experimenting? And I will go back to using that resource that we have with Dave Welsher with St. Elizabeth Healthcare. You can reach out to him even if you don't have a positive screen. You can call and just say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I'm not really sure what to do here. What do you think? Also, you can request a test. So there is an extra cost for that because we will not change up the random list that we send to schools. We get schools that request for the test list to be changed for them. And we will not change a random list. But what we can do is add your student onto that list. So on our website, again, if you are on our homepage here, you go to the Get Started tab. You just hover over it, and these are the different stakeholders that we work with. So you just click on Parents. Here's the Parents page, all kinds of resources for you out there. But then really, This is what you want if you're interested in making sure that your student is tested on the next test day. You just click that button. It's 20 bucks, which I can tell you is far less than you would pay for, especially for a 12-panel drug test. And also then it includes, if something needs to go to the lab, it includes the lab services and the doctor services, just like it would for a regular test. So 20 bucks, and we are sure that your student then is on the next test date. And then we know that our random test list is still very authentic. Nothing has been changed as far as that goes. So please, I encourage everyone out there. Dan says, thanks for what you guys do. Thank you so much for sending that in. We love this work. We've been doing it for 15 years. And the team with our program is just dynamite, and we love the support that we get from all the schools and the parents. So please let us know if there's anything that we can do for you guys. If you have any suggestions of prizes, rewards for the students, and let us know if you like what we're doing or if you would like to see something change. So I'm a fireman's daughter, so I have thick skin. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm always up for criticism and critique so that we can get better. We just had a meeting a couple days ago to go over positives and negatives from 2020 so that we hit 2021 full steam ahead. So thank you, everybody, for everything that you do, and please stay healthy. We look forward to seeing you in the schools again soon. Hang in there until then, and keep an eye out for our prizes. Thanks.